Hello and welcome to the incredibly influential and highly successful podcast. I'm incredibly influential.
And I'm highly successful.
Today is Monday, December 19th. It is 2:30 in the morning as we are recording this. I am so fucking tired. Uh, but we do have a special guest, a very very special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Ooh, it's me. I'm Jen. I'm a night owl, so this is fine with me. Some people can take it, and some people can't. I'll be here to
Yeah.
offer advice and fun tidbits.
And what is your Okay, I'm trying to come up with a way to say this that isn't.
So this episode will be Christmas themed, talking about Christmas movies, favorite
Uh-huh.
Christmas foods.
Yes. So, all right. So, I'm just going to say it. I was going to ask her, but I can't come up with a way to ask that isn't kind of sexist. So, Jennifer
Condescending.
is shut up. Jennifer is Danny's girlfriend. Um and uh un- so the way this episode's going to work, kind of long story, but basically there's going to be some weird uh, uh, timeline. Uh, uh, I don't know.
From
How do
our
you say
future
it?
episode.
Yes. So there's going to be some weird lining up timeline issues because we recorded next week's episode before this one. So basically, what happened was Danny and I thought we were going to record this episode afterwards because we thought we were only going to get Jennifer for one episode because we were like, okay, we definitely want her in one of these last two episodes for the year, but uh we we're gonna talk about something. We were gonna talk about Avatar. Danny couldn't go see Avatar, but we were like, okay, we're just gonna record this one, and then we're gonna record next week's episode first, so that way Jennifer can go to sleep because we know that we're gonna have to stay up late to record these. So we were just like, we'll be gentlemen. We'll let her sleep. We'll do the staying up till all hours of the night.
So
But
kind of them, but I'm done with school for the semester, so I'm able to stay up. Woo!
yeah, so we recorded next week's episode before this one, so there's gonna be some weird. Uh, uh, I'm blanking on the word. I think it starts with a C.
Continuity.
Continuity. Yes, thank you. That's how
Yes.
you know it's really tired. There's gonna be some
And
weird
there
continuity
is a
issues.
question addressed in the next episode, and the answer to that question that I asked Danny is yes. So it's
Yes,
heartbreaking, but stay tuned.
again, I don't
to
remember
figure out
answering the question, but
what
y'all
the
can y'all
question
can
is.
verify for me.
And
He
it's making
totally
me
answered
question
yes.
our relationship.
I
Yeah.
don't remember
So you
answering.
guys
Is the
need to
craziest part about it, though.
you guys need to go and watch the next episode when it comes out. Isn't that so exciting? Isn't this
Yeah.
weird? Yeah. I we tried to record this intro as well, but I had to fix a quick computer issue. It's very boring. I don't want to talk about it, but we had to record this intro once before, and I said it feels like a Doctor Who episode. It feels like how River Song meets the Doctor for the first time, but for her it's the last time,
Oh,
and
that's
so
interesting.
all the rest of the times it's like in meeting out of order, so it just feels very weird. Yeah, so we're going to reference things that haven't happened yet, and it's really
Ooh,
interesting. I
because we
I
know things
actually
that you guys don't, so that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's actually a really interesting way to film this. Honestly, if we're ever going to do like a backlog of episode type thing, uh, I think this is the way to do it. I think film the last one first,
That'll
and
be
and
the most confusing thing,
Maybe that
though,
can be like an annual end of the year kind of thing.
because they
that
won't
would
get the
actually
joke
be really
until the
cool.
last episode.
Yeah, but it keeps them watching.
I
You gotta keep them
Keeps them
coming back.
listening.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the next episode we'll talk about cool things like, don't you guys want to know our New Year's resolutions, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Um, but yeah. So the reason why we're doing this, I don't remember if I got to say it yet, but is I'm going to my dad's on. This episode is going to come out on Tuesday, and then literally right on Wednesday, I'm heading down to my dad's in South Carolina. And then right after that, I don't even get to come back home. I'm literally staying at the airport, and then I'm going straight to Guatemala to go help out there. I talk more about it in next week's episode. But I'm just going to do like a medical mission. I don't want to get too far into it, so you guys could watch next week's episode to find out.
And it's even more important because this is a Christmas episode, and we have to
Yeah.
remember why we celebrate Christmas, help others.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so also things I wanted to talk about this episode. Another important thing that we're talking about this episode is I have my associate's degree. I finished all the work for my associate's degree this this fall semester. It just ended on Thursday was my last final. I took that. I took my Spanish final on Wednesday, and I think I took my marketing final on Tuesday. And either Monday or no. Oh shit, no, it was due last week. So yeah, I did my marketing final last week, and I did my Spanish final on Wednesday, and my geography final on Thursday. And I got straight A's this semester, and I brought my cumulative GPA up to a 3.05, and I'm really proud of myself for that because I struggled at the beginning of my college career back in 2020 because the pandemic had just started. Like in my first semester, we had to switch to online, and it was terrible, and everything got all messed up, and that is one of the reasons why I messed up there. And yeah, I've turned it all around since then, and I feel really proud of myself for that.
Yeah, congratulations to Nick. I think we can probably all say an academic accomplishment. I wrote a 30-page paper and got a 95, so I was pretty proud of that.
That's really impressive. I don't know if I've ever gotten that high on a paper.
It was single
before.
space too. It was not double space. So
Jesus wept. Oh my god.
it was about the Chesapeake Bay and
oh
the
no
photo.
shit.
Yeah.
No shit. I am extremely familiar with the Chesapeake Bay. I was
Can
I
you
was
name
born
the
in Virginia
5
Beach.
states that border the Chesapeake Bay? Out of curiosity.
The bear. Oh, fuck. Maryland and Virginia. I know that. Maryland, Virginia. It can't be 5 because the bay only goes up to the.
You're right.
inside
It's
of
not
that.
5. I'm sorry. I was counting them in my head. It's actually 6.
No,
No, it is.
no.
It is 5. It's 5.
I'm
So you're right.
pretty
Maryland,
sure.
Virginia, New York,
Maryland and Virginia.
Pennsylvania, and
New
Delaware.
York does not touch the Chesapeake Bay. New York does not touch the Chesapeake Bay.
They do have jurisdiction on the Chesapeake Bay, though.
I
The
I
watershed
would
of New
question
York
your-
is probably what I should say. Because
Okay.
that was what my
The
paper was over.
watershed of New York, the
Yeah.
Susquehanna River does not count as the Chesapeake Bay. Okay, that is different. That is a different thing. No, the Susquehanna River does not count as part
The
of
reason
the Chesapeake
it
Bay.
counts because it deposits into the Chesapeake Bay.
Yes, but
And that was the whole entirety of the paper. How jurisdiction in Maryland has to also be as effective as jurisdiction in New York, right?
But the bay itself, the Chesapeake Bay itself, only touches 2 states.
But
it doesn't even touch Delaware.
But the estuary, right? The Chesapeake Bay estuary, right?
Okay, that does not count. That does not count. And also, I'm not sure that because the main river that feeds into the Chesapeake Bay is the Susquehanna, and the Potomac as well. But,
right. And the James, and you're right, all those rivers. I think we're getting off topic. But Danny, Danny, what's your academic accomplishment for this semester?
What did he do? Did you get straight A's this semester?
I got all A's.
Hey, nice.
You did,
nice.
Yeah.
My 2 big assignments. Well, I had three classes I took, but one of the classes had an easy assignment. The two big assignments that I had to do though were a 4-page paper on the 3 branches of Texas government, the leaders, etc., that sort of thing. And then the bigger assignment was a proposal, a formal proposal. And whenever I was looking, because this was a multiple part assignment, right, over the course of several weeks. The formal proposal was just the last part of this assignment, if that makes sense, right? Originally, we
Yeah.
had to do a request for proposal, which pretty much means we find somebody else's proposal, if that makes sense, proposal offer. We request for proposal. Then there was a middle assignment where I had to do a proposal update memo, right? And then the
Mm-hmm.
last part was the formal proposal, pretty much telling the client how we're going to do this, the budget, this, that, and everything in between, right? And it ended up coming out to about 12 pages because it was title page, table of contents, appendix A, appendix B, appendix C, and then like every single bullet point that they wanted. That was like the real big one. And we were supposed to do it over something that we were going to school for, right? So I was like, okay, I want to do CAD engineering, right? So I asked Jennifer to help me look for some, and I looked for some as well. And Jennifer sent me one that looks fine, but I didn't realize until a little too late that it was the wrong CAD. So I had to do the entire assignment talking about the
Mhm.
wrong CAD,
It was
which
a
made it a
communications
little bit more
dispatch,
complicated, right?
which is
Because
very interesting.
CAD engineering stands for computer aided design, right? Which is like, the type of engineering where you're designing things. But this CAD was for a dispatch office, like it's like 911 calls, and it was computer aided
It did
dispatch,
dispatch, yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I had to do the entire assignment over that because that's what I submitted in the first assignment. I was like, okay, well, it's just one assignment; it won't come up later, and it came up later a lot. You know what I mean? So I dug the hole, so I had to keep digging, right?
Yeah. I might as well. Might as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was that.
Um. But
We
yeah.
should. Hmm.
Yeah. I guess everyone did some pretty good stuff this semester. I'm really proud of us. Um. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. Does anyone have what are your guys' Christmas plans? I want to hear what you guys are gonna
Well,
do.
I was gonna ask, what's one of the best Christmas gifts you've ever gotten?
Um. Ooh, fuck. It's hard to remember specifically if I got it for a Christmas or if I got it for a birthday.
Okay.
Sometimes. You know what? I remember the specific Christmas gift. Oh shit, or was it? No, it was. Because I remember this now. Okay, so how it went was, my birthday had already happened, and then Halo 4 was coming out. Halo 4 was coming out in November of, what was that, 2012, 2013. I think it was 2012. So it came out in 2012.
So you were like how old? Like,
10.
oh
And
yeah, I was
then
gonna say like 11, but yeah.
for Christmas, I got Halo 4 and an Xbox 360. And obviously, with that Xbox 360, I met my dear friend Daniel-san.
Oh my gosh, that's cute.
And then yes, so it took a few months after that, but yeah, I made a couple of friends on Xbox who I was friends with for many years.
What's the
Um,
best gift? Okay, we'll after that, then say what's the best gift you've given. But Danny, let me hear what's the best gift you've gotten.
Um, I feel like I get so many gifts, right?
And who gives you those gifts out of curiosity?
yeah, I want to hear.
The gift that I feel like we've already talked about this at least one time before. I don't know why it seems like a familiar question, probably, again, the Xbox, right? I love my Xbox. It started way back then, and I've been, keeping up with it obviously ever since then, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's become very influential in my day to day, even now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Xbox seems like a good option, right? Like Nick said, I met him through it, so that's just one of the many effects the Xbox has had, right? So that's what I'm thinking. Probably best gift, right? Because that was a nice Christmas. I remember I even got the what was it, like the Simpsons game on there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
Mm-hmm.
love to go back and play that. It's too bad it's not backwards compatible, but alas, alas.
For me, it was close to Christmas. Like a recent gift, I got a time turner from the Harry Potter movie, which is really
Mm-hmm.
awesome. It actually has real lab created diamonds, so they're a little cheaper, but they're still super shiny, and I can move it. So I think that was one of the most interesting gifts I ever got. Um, but the best gift that I've given, I think personally, I would say I gave this guy an Xbox mini fridge, which I never would have imagined that's a gift I would give someone. I
It's all
never, I
expensive.
never realized that they would make the Xbox into a mini fridge, but I think he really liked it. So
Is that right?
yeah.
Interesting.
Did you ever
Yeah.
get an Xbox mini fridge, Teeny?
I can't remember.
Nick, would you
Oh.
like the Xbox mini fridge? I'll send it to you.
I could be persuaded into
Okay.
liking one of those. Yeah,
Because apparently there's one just lying around, so
yeah, yeah. I think if there is one just lying around,
yeah,
unused and unwanted,
unused. Apparently
yeah,
unwanted after all this time, but
yeah, if that is the case, I think it could find a loving home here. I could keep various assorted cold things in there.
what's the
Uh,
best gift you've given, Nick?
Given is hard to say, but I like to say I give people my presence.
There you
Uh,
go.
my
Can
presence
I steal that
is their
answer?
presence.
No, you
No,
can't
shut the
steal that
fuck up.
answer.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Daniel.
I want that to be
Um,
my answer now.
shut the fuck up. Uh, but I for Mother's Day that I don't know about for Christmas, but for Mother's Day I did do a nice thoughtful card, and then I did two origami swans because swans mate for life, and I did it for my two moms, and that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I can be a poetic soul when I want to be. I don't always say shut the fuck up and fuck you.
Hmm.
Really? I thought
Sometimes
that was just
shut the
like,
fuck up, fuck you.
see,
Okay,
like from
Danny.
my experience, that's what I've seen.
Danny,
Well,
what's the best gift you've given?
I I
don't steal my answer, bitch face.
don't know. I don't really give. I don't really keep track of every gift that I give. I feel like I try my best to give like kind of thoughtful gifts. Um, let me think.
Ugh. I'm gonna just keep yawning because it is almost 3 in the morning and I am in fact dying. I took a nap
Hi,
for
Dine.
this.
I'm highly
Oh my!
successful.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
All right. Well, I want to say that sometimes
I
I
can't think of a
have
gift right
coworkers and
now.
friends, especially certain people who get so offended if their partner doesn't give them an expensive gift. I have a friend who told me that she knows what her gift is and it's not an engagement ring, and she's upset about that. I feel like
Wow.
don't put unnecessary pressure on your partner,
Well,
right?
the
And
the way
appreciate
I've
the
always kind of thought about it, right, is that if you do something and it's not out of the kindness of your heart and it's just because you feel obligated to, it kind of means less. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it loses its meaning, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if we pressure Nick to get you an Alienware computer, right?
Imagine. No, I
We
doubt
Yes.
pressure
that.
him It's
Uh-huh.
gonna mean less when he gives it to you, right? Will it still be awesome? Yeah,
No,
but
no. Actually, I think it'll mean just as much.
Do
right.
you think A, that I would ever do that for you, and B, that I could
Realistically,
afford
no.
to do that for you?
Of course not.
Hey, in the future, you never know. But yeah, I just want to
No,
remind
I
everyone
have a pretty good feeling that that's not gonna
um,
happen.
No,
if your
not at
partner
all. Not
gives
even
you
close.
a small gift, it's okay. It's always the thought that counts. And I don't want to say any names, but I do have a friend who has a boyfriend, but has been talking to a bunch of other guys for the sole purpose of getting more gifts.
That's kind of grind set behavior, honestly.
I kind of admire it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
If
her
the boyfriend's
boyfriend
into it, I would
her boyfriend doesn't know
say,
what's going on, and she plans on breaking up with the boyfriend shortly after, like January. So she's just trying to see what gifts he'll get her. She's flirting with other guys to get gifts, and
okay, well,
I just
I
feel like
feel like
Edward is a really good guy, and
name
I think
drops, docs.
yeah, name drops, but I just feel like Edward, he's one of my colleagues, and I think he doesn't have the
I've
same
always
love
been Team
language.
Edward.
He doesn't have the same love language as she does. Her love language is very like
Gifts.
excessive and always attention on her and always about her. And he's more like a shy guy. He loves playing PC, right? But he is not planning on getting her an engagement ring. But she does want this diamond studded bracelet with her name engraved on it, which is very specific, right? Why would you? I don't
That
know.
seems, yeah, that does seem a little bit sus.
Like, why would you? I don't know about you guys, but would you wear your name on any piece of jewelry?
I would
Right?
wear
Yeah,
my name on
on a gold
every
chain.
piece of jewelry. Every single piece of
Get a
jewelry.
gold chain right here. You know what I mean? I feel like I could pull it off.
So, if you're listening to this, Edward, I'm sorry that she's
This is
flirting
how
with
you
other
found out.
guys. Yeah,
Rip.
really wanted to
Send it
tell.
to him.
I really
Send it
wanted
to
to tell
him.
him. It's just messed up because he has no idea what's going on. He thinks everything's okay, and they've been dating for a couple years. But I think she's talking with other guys, and it's. I think I don't know about you, Nick or Danny, but if you ever been in a relationship where you're with somebody, but behind your back they're talking to other people and they're just with you until they can like get with that other person, right? And when they
Yeah.
finally realize they can get with that other person, they drop you, you know.
Oh yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's a little sad. So I'm sorry, Edward, I couldn't tell you earlier.
Yeah.
So.
Just do send this episode to him. Send him the timestamp too,
How do
if you
you,
can.
Nick, if I was talking with another guy, how would you tell Danny? Like, how do you tell that to one of your good friends, you know? You know they're going to
Hmm.
be hurting. So is it better if they hear it from the person instead of you?
All right, you got to give me a little bit of background here,
All
okay?
right. Okay, Danny, Nick and that girl are dating, and you see that she's cheating on him. How do you tell him?
Um,
Oh, what
interesting.
girl? What girl? We haven't mentioned her yet. Oh, oh,
Continuity.
this
Oh no.
continuity. It's I love it. I love this. This is such a good setup. Oh my god.
Exactly for the next episode because we mention her a lot. Double D's. Intrigued.
What are you talking? No, shut up. That is different.
Send this to her,
That
We'll
was the
send
and
this to her.
hypothetical. No, no,
no,
I'm
no, no.
clearing this
Now,
up now. I'm
now
clearing
you
this
have
up
to
now.
send this to her
We're
and
talking
like
about the
timestamp it.
hypothetical. We're
We're talking
talking
about
about the
hypothetical.
so
No,
the
but honestly,
hypothetical
how do
double
you
D's
have?
girl was
Yeah,
different. The hypothetical double D's girl was the
she
girl
was.
that Danny was hypothetically cheating on you on. That's
Well,
different. That's different. I
no,
don't.
but
I
honestly,
think
how
you're
do you,
projecting
I
here.
would
as
never
a
hypothetically cheat.
mature
You would
adult,
literally cheat. You
is
would
that
literally cheat.
what's
Whoa,
happening,
whoa,
Jenny?
whoa.
Because I can give one of your gifts to
I
Nick.
just said I would never hypothetically cheat, and now don't. Man, how you trying to tell me this?
Okay,
I mean, you
make
walked
sure.
right into it. You said you wouldn't hypothetically cheat. What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, but
I feel
as a
like you understood me. You just chose not to.
No, no, I didn't. I'm just saying what I
You're
understood.
just dense. I get it. I
yeah,
understand.
but as I was stating, it's how do you have that conversation with another adult? It's difficult to say, hey, that person that you're in love with and see a future with is not satisfied in your relationship, right? So, Danny, how would you tell Nick?
Nick, gotta break something to you. You know, that girl you've been talking to, I have proof that she's not very loyal to you. I think she should look at this, review it, and see how you.
And
You're
what's your
very
proof?
quiet. You're very quiet while you're saying this.
Yeah, what is your proof, Danny? Like, you sent her text messages asking to hang out, or what?
Yeah, are you trying to shag my bird? You trying to shag my bird?
I'm just saying. I feel like proof would be better, but you know, I'm just trying to say. Without
He's
proof,
trying
it
to
might be a
shag
harder
my bird.
sell.
Jennifer, your boyfriend is trying to fuck my girlfriend. Can you help me out here?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nick, but the way he has proof is because I was texting her, and it turns out that she is interested in women and not men. So I
Are
apologize.
you trying to fuck my girlfriend?
All
We're
right.
all trying to fuck your girlfriend, apparently.
Why is
Trying to get
everyone
her.
trying to fuck my
Obviously,
girlfriend?
she must
That
be
is-
perfect because I guess we're everyone's trying to get with her, but yeah,
Why
but
is
honestly,
everyone trying to fuck my girlfriend, dude? What the
how
fuck?
do you have that conversation with someone, right? Because they're gonna be miserable. You know, everything that they realize up until now is going to be shattered, and then
I think you greatly overestimate my capacity for care about another human being's like emotional well-being. I would just lay it out plain and simple. Like, fucking respect yourself, you little bitch. I don't care if it's gonna be painful for them in the now. You know, I might even revel in causing a little bit of pain. You know, it's just a little harmless fun.
Good friend. Good
Um,
friend.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, you little bitch.
So if I was cheating on Danny and I confided in you and said, I don't have these feelings anymore for him, I'm seeing this handsome abs doctor, you would just tell Danny straight up?
It would be a handsome abs doctor.
He's handsome, abs. He owns his own house. He volunteers for Habitat for Humanity. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the Fortune 500 is companies. Forbes, 30 under 30. Massive dick, like he's fucking packing it. Like,
all right, Nick.
He walks into a room, his dick walks in 5 minutes later. It's
how does that happen? I don't.
Because he's dragging it behind him.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's very vivid. But yeah, how would you explain it to Danny?
He just did.
Yeah.
No,
I would say that exact thing. I would be like, yeah, dude.
And what if Danny says, oh, are you talking about me? Because it seems like that's something Danny would say.
He would say that because he likes to cope with his mediocrity through humor.
Whoa.
Ooh, so dark.
Wow.
That was, yeah.
Is this just a roast Danny session? We should.
It is always a roast Danny session.
You know, we roast chestnuts during the Christmas time, but this podcast.
Danny is roasting on the podcast fire.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's just difficult, but we're adults, and sometimes we have to realize. I don't think
it's difficult at all.
I think it's difficult
at all. I love Breaking Bad News. Breaking Bad News is fun.
I love Breaking Bad.
I am going to break your legs. How about that? How about I break your legs?
Personally, what would help me, well, I guess I'm going to have to tell Edward now, is tell him if she's not happy with you and she's happy with someone else, that means you can be happy by yourself or with someone else too, you know. But
yeah.
I don't know. It is interesting though. Nick, have you experienced heartbreak?
Yeah, I think so.
Danny, have you experienced heartbreak?
Let me think.
He has. He's a simp.
I think we all have, right? And it's between the differences between how a girl experienced heartbreak and how a guy experienced heartbreak. You know, I'll go first. I think in the beginning it's just world shattering, right? And it's horrible, right? But after some time you get over it. And from
I
experience from my friends and from like best friends, the way I see the way guys handle it is that they're okay in the beginning, and then one little thing will set them off, and then they're just completely like shattered. And it's so interesting, in my opinion. Nick, is
no,
that how you are with heartbreak?
I think you're getting your information from the wrong sources. That's not how it's for me. I think for everyone it is. It sucks in the beginning, unless you're. Maybe it's the way that grief works for you. Maybe it's a grief thing where you're like where you go through the five stages in a different order. But I feel like most people get the sting immediately. It hits right then and right there. I've had that sort of thing happen. You know that it yeah, no, I
Really?
would
Because
say.
I've had my cousin, I'm not gonna say his name, but like when his girlfriend was I think she was cheating on him, he was just like, okay, he just accepted it. And then like a month went by and she came by to pick up her clothes or something, and he just like lost it. He was just crying, and it was so weird. I've seen things on Reddit and all that, how it's interesting how a girl is hurt in the beginning and a guy's okay, but then the girl's okay later on and the guy's hurting, right?
I I think the amount of hurting is the exact same. The amount of bottling is different. I think uh well, first of all, I think we need to go to the ad read soon. So I think uh the thing I'll say about it is I think there is a certain amount of bottling that is expected of a man. You know, as a man, I have been, I've experienced toxic masculinity quite a bit. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I understand that,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a certain amount of like pressure on you to not show any of it, except if you sublimate it into acceptable emotions, like um, emotions and actions. You know, so if you like get angry, that's acceptable. Sadness isn't
Oh,
acceptable, but
right. But this
anger
is
is
acceptable.
acceptable.
Interesting. What about you, Danny? How would you describe like your heartbreak track, I guess?
Um, you know,
Is it
I
like more like Nick?
realize
Or
that somebody shouldn't be able to affect me that way, so I just don't let people affect me that way. Pretty easy.
I think uh I think it's more complicated than that, and I've seen you heartbroken, Daniel. We both have.
That was prior to the thing I just said, though, wasn't it?
no, but we're talking about
You
past
haven't had
heartbreak.
an opportunity. You
Yeah,
haven't had an
like
opportunity to be heartbroken since
yeah,
that. Your
that's why
whole
me and Nick were talking. That's why we both opened up about our past heartbreaks. That's why I was saying my past heartbreak, I was like completely destroyed, and Nick talked about how it hit him in the beginning, right? That we're not talking about future heartbreaks. I feel like we all have learned for now, right? So
yeah.
we were asking about your past like heartbreak, like how did you handle it, right?
Well, I first of all, I probably would leave it in the past. That's where I think it belongs. So I think that that's where I will keep it. But thank you for the opportunity.
I mean,
Well, I personally do this for the fans or anyone listening. So sometimes it's nice to hear that we've gone through similar things that they have. And
yeah.
it's
That's
always okay in the end,
mhm.
right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you get, I would say there is a there is a very blurred line of demarcation between uh being traumatized, being paranoid, or being wise and cautious. You know, like the healthy line between cautious and paranoid is blurred, and I think going through enough things will make you uh will change that sort of experience for you. It will probably make you feel one of those ways because you know
Yeah.
you, if you have something bad happen to you and you don't grow more cautious as a result, you've learned nothing from it. And I think you should always be more cautious after something happens to you. But it's yeah. Um
Well, yeah, I have one friend actually, Nick, that I thought about setting up with you, but
mm-hmm.
she lives in Illinois now. She moved down there, but or I guess
Oh,
up there. But
that's cool.
she was with the guy, got proposed to, and then he was talking to another girl, broke up with
Mm-hmm.
her, and then got with that other girl. So he says technically he didn't cheat on her, but I think it's emotional cheating. But I noticed she's having a problem with opening up to. She's dated a couple of guys, and they always end it because they said that they can tell she's afraid to fall in love with them. And she's told me because of the traumatizing heartbreak that she went through, she can't attach herself to any other male. And I'm not really sure personally what she can do to change that. I don't know if maybe she needs time to herself, maybe she just needs to find a best friend, right? But I've noticed in her relationships, she can't have a fully functional relationship because she's always thinking, what if they break up with me? What if they leave me? What if they cheat on me? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's interesting. You've been through a lot of relationships and you don't have like that traumatizing experience, right?
I think um I think I don't show it as much. I think there's definitely I definitely have a lot of cautious um worry and I fall into the overthinking thing too. I'll admit that. But I also think if you don't believe in love, what's the point of living? Like
Okay.
yeah, there's if you don't if you're not in love with someone or something, there is no point to living.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think there's absolutely something there for that, and I think that is a good place to end for the ad read. Thank you guys very much for watching, or not watching, listening up to this point, and please stay tuned after. This episode has been generously sponsored by skunknuggetparenting.com, run by my own talented mother. Parenting is hard. Sometimes kids and parents are like night and day. It can be very hard to get on the same page with them, and a lot of parents have anxiety that maybe they're doing it all wrong. Luckily, there is a service out there that can help. Skunk Nugget Parenting Solutions is a company that provides parent coaching services, resource referrals, and psychological profiling, along with 24/7 phone and text access in an all virtual program. Plus, the first consultation is free. In order to get this amazing service, please visit skunknuggetparenting.com. That is skunknuggetparenting.com. Thank you to Skunk Nugget Parenting Solutions for sponsoring this episode. Thank you all for listening. And now, back to the podcast. Hi, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us. Um, uh, I can we move on to something? I've got a couple of things I want to talk about.
Well,
Um,
sure. What do you want to talk about? I was going to ask about Christmas gifts, Christmas songs,
yeah,
Christmas movies.
I was going to move back to that, but I've got a couple really funny stories that kind of deal with the podcast itself.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're kind of doing like a yearly wrap up, even though this isn't really the yearly wrap up, I wanted to talk about how we recently hit 1,000 downloads, which is really
Wow,
cool.
that's awesome.
It is really, really fucking cool. I'm so excited that we finally did that. We did that in less than a year, which is just absolutely mind boggling to me. So, everyone who listened, thank you. Keep listening. It's really great. Um, but we so we did that, and so I posted that on my Snapchat story, and somebody, someone I used to talk to a lot more, but they sent me like a reaction of like, you know, like a thumbs up and stuff, and then they texted me like a second later, and it was like, oh sorry, misclick, and it's just like, come on, man, you can't do that, dude. You can't just like
And
do
he
that
sends
and
the
then
actual
just say it.
emoji,
Funny.
and he just it's
Yeah,
just a
and just
giant
be
like
like,
laughing
"Oh, I
face
didn't
emoji.
mean to do that. Sorry, I didn't mean to congratulate you." There comes a point where you're just like, you know what? Just let him have it, right? And we will talk about this next episode. Um, but there's like a line where like sometimes there comes a point where you should just like not open your mouth and just sort of let people, you know,
You ever think you reach that
have
point,
something.
Nick?
I don't know. Do you ever think you'll reach the point where you stop sucking dick?
Well, I haven't started, so I don't understand.
No, you haven't stopped. You haven't stopped. But then I also looked at where people have been listening to us, and here's where some really funny stuff is happening. So we've gotten a lot of listens in Brussels, which is where
Germany.
the UN
Oh,
is
yeah.
headquartered. Or no, it's not the UN. The UN's in The Hague, I believe. So Brussels is where the EU is headquartered. Sorry, the EU is headquartered there. I misspoke. So the EU is there. I think they're listening to us because I think they're about to sanction us. I think our podcast is just so beyond good taste that the European Union is about to sanction us. And I say, fucking bring it on, you bastards.
That's
Bring it
probably
on.
why they are going to sanction you.
What are they gonna do about it? I'm an American. What are you fucking Europeans gonna do? You're gonna come across the ocean? Fuck you. Fucking
Pay
eat
no
a dick.
attention to him. I believe that you guys are doing a
Fuck
great
Europe.
job.
Europe
Tea
sucks.
and
Try.
crumpet. Am I right?
Hey. First of all, Britain's no longer in the EU. Second of all, how about you guys try a real government document instead of basing it on our fucking shitty rough draft government document? You fucking idiots. You dumb
Did we know
fucks.
that they were there before we were?
No, they weren't. No, they weren't.
England?
The first American civilization was in Nordichico, which predates European civilization by thousands of years. No, they were not there first. Fuck Europe. Europe sucks. Eat my dick. Eat my
Well,
dick.
alrighty. So this is a
Oh,
Christmas
and then the
episode.
second one, because there was another one. I looked at the location of this. I looked really, really hard. I saw that there were a couple of downloads in LA, right? And so I zoom in on one particular one, and I keep zooming in and zooming in and zooming in, and I'm like, oh, it's in Hollywood. Oh, it's right there near all the studios. Oh, it's in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Oh, it's literally on top of a grave in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. So either somebody was buried listening to our podcast, or somebody at a funeral decided, you know what, I'm going to check out this podcast. Either
While the
way,
eulogy's being like said.
props, based, absolutely based. 100% the most based thing I've ever heard. Please keep doing it. Go as many funerals as you want to. Please listen to this podcast there. Good lord. That is so incredibly based. Do it at weddings too. I hate weddings.
Do
Yeah.
you hate weddings because you haven't experienced a wedding?
Oh, I've experienced too many. I've
What
been
I'm trying
to
to say is,
several.
do you hate weddings because you have yet to experience getting married?
No, I hate weddings because they're boring and stupid. And
So, what would be your wedding like theme? Have you thought about that?
it's my wedding theme will be going directly to the courthouse, getting a marriage license, and then going back home and taking a nap.
Okay,
There
Danny,
will be
what
no
about you?
witnesses. There will be no
Well, you have to have
dressing
a
up.
witness.
You
Okay.
have to have a witness.
I will get some random homeless guy outside the courthouse to be my witness. I will go in there in my fucking shorts because I'm not putting on a goddamn suit or tie. I will go up to that fucking courthouse. I will get my fucking marriage license, I will sign it, and I will be back home in 5 minutes or less so I can take a fucking
He
nap.
says this, but in the future episode, he simps over a girl. And I'm pretty sure she said, I want you in a tuxedo and I want a fairy tale wedding. Would probably
She
say
did
yes.
not say that. I can tell you
No,
she did not say
That
I
might
that.
be
said,
an
she said
episode
if
so
she
far in the
said.
future we haven't recorded it yet.
Yes,
Man.
I think maybe she's getting a Mandela effect right now, where she comes from the universe where she said that, but definitely didn't happen.
Wow.
Not
Okay,
in
so
this
what's your
universe.
like? That's your sort of wedding, Danny. What about you? Have you thought about it?
I
No,
thought Danny doesn't want to get married. He's told me he doesn't want to get married.
it's not on my to-do
This
list.
is news to me.
He also says he doesn't want children.
Yep.
Even
Not-
more news. Well, the perfect wedding for me would be outdoors, foresty type of wedding.
No,
I want to
no,
do like a Viking sort of wedding.
no,
So I think that would be
no, 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 no,
this
no,
is
no,
my
no, no, no,
wedding,
no,
not
no.
yours.
I have to go. I'm gonna get shanghaied into this shit. I'm not going if it is an outside wedding.
Do,
Does
do
that
I have to
mean-
go too?
This is why I should be
Excuse
a
me,
wedding
Jamie?
planner. Yeah, go
do I
ahead,
have to-
Daniel.
Do I have
He
to
says
go
he
ahead,
has
Jamie.
to go.
What'd you say, Danny?
do I have to be there as well?
Do you have to be there?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you should get off your ass and propose and figure it out. How about
Oh, you're
that?
right. I don't
That's
have to worry about
that's
that.
the type of wedding I would like. A outdoorsy Viking sort of style wedding. I am very
Actually-
surprised, Nick, that you want to do courthouse. You always gave me that sort of like vibe that you would be like black tie celebration type event. I just
No,
thought
I
because of the
hate
gentleman you were.
I hate planning
yeah.
those sort of things. I hate the big social events. I hate all of that. I despise that. I am a hopeless romantic, yes, but I hate big events and lots of people and lots of planning and all of that sort of shit and being around people. That gives me the ick. I hate that. I hope that I can marry someone who's like, nope, fuck that. We're just doing this with as few people as possible. That's what I want. And yeah, because there's so many things that can go wrong, and there's so many people, and you gotta talk to all of them, and you gotta like pretend to be fucking nice and
Your wedding can be as big or as little as you want it to be. It doesn't
I
have to
don't
be like
want
hundreds
anything.
of people.
I
It
don't
could be
want
like
anything.
5 people if you really wanted it to be.
Yeah, I don't plan on having a 300 guests. I just plan on having like
I don't want to have
nuclear
3
family,
guests.
you know, and that's
I
it.
don't want to have anyone there.
I want to put my entire Xbox friend list on the guest list. You
The
know?
wedding invitation.
Yeah.
Okay,
no.
so that's interesting. We have three. We have three viewpoints. We have one straight to the courthouse.
Yep.
Marriage certificate, that's it. We have one who's where do you stand, Danny? You said no wedding?
He doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to talk about it because
Okay, we have one person who no marriage, and then we have one person who's has a theme, already knows what kind of food they want to serve, all that, right? That's interesting.
It's not that
also,
interesting. I feel like it's pretty expected outcome, to be honest with you.
I didn't expect it from Nick or you, and I think if you like a little bit
Danny
of
knows that I'll make fun of him. Danny knows that I'll make fun of him if he says anything remotely like sincere, because I have been completely sincerity poisoned over.
You have to understand this isn't
multiple years on the internet.
Podcasts for these type of questions.
Yeah, no, I
No, not even.
well, I was just gonna say some advice and say that if you're dating someone or currently dating someone and they're giving you want a big wedding and they're giving you these types of responses that these males are giving, don't give up on them. Maybe see if you can change your mind. But if you're dating someone like Nick, who's saying absolutely no wedding, no big celebration, courthouse, like hopefully that won't make or break your relationship, right? Nick, if you're dating someone and they absolutely wanted a fairy tale wedding, would you really deny them that? If they told you you didn't have to plan nothing, they would take care of everything. You just had to show up at the altar.
I would have to be there though. I would
have to show up at the altar, yeah.
True.
It's never just showing up at the altar. It's going to the reception. It's getting the fucking fitted suit. It's doing all those fucking rehearsal shits. It's everything. It's never just that. That's the problem. And also, there are so many things I need to say right now. First of all, first thing is, Danny, on the thought of you proposing, you're dating a modern woman. And also she's older than you, and also she's got way more years of education than you. She's gonna propose to you. You know that, right? She's gonna take the initiative, because I know you're never gonna take the initiative. No, she's gonna propose to you. And so then you're gonna have to have the onus of like, oh shit, I have to break from convention and say no. That's gonna be really hard for you because you're lazy and you like the least conflict possible. So the least conflict possible is gonna be saying yes.
Well, you see,
Second
that's
thing-
the least short-term conflict, but long-term conflict, I feel like, has to be accounted for as well, right?
but no. But
Wow,
the second
Nick, do
thing,
you have a problem with a woman proposing to you?
I don't have a problem with it.
So if you met a girl, dated for a year, and she realized she wanted to be with you, and she proposed to you, you knowing full well she wants a full blown wedding, you would say no?
It would spark a series of negotiations. Something which I am very good at.
Negotiating?
Yes. I don't mind the thought of getting married young. I don't give a shit. I don't think I don't think committing to one person is all that hard. Like I will say in the next episode, I'm a one-woman man.
Like you will say, guys. Wait for it to happen.
Yeah.
Like you will say.
I'm a one-woman man. I believe in
And that one woman, will be revealed next episode.
Yeah, next episode.
Yes.
Her name, her address, we have all the information.
Well, I mean, not really the address thing, but
So you're personally, as a male, you're okay with proposing and you're okay with getting proposed to, right? Because a lot of guys don't like the idea of being proposed to, right? But you're a modern man.
I think it takes all the guesswork out of it. I'm a pretty traditional man sometimes, but I just don't like it takes the guesswork out of it. It takes me having to understand something, like understand, like being on the level of because being able to surprise someone is hard for me because it's hard for me to know what someone is thinking. So it's like, I want to be able to get the gotcha moment. That's what I want. I want to be able to pull off the gotcha moment.
Okay, moment of truth. What about you, Danny? You're okay with being proposed to versus you're okay with doing the proposing? You care, don't care? Because Nick, it seems, is fine either way.
I feel like I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why we're asking.
Yeah.
Because you and Nick are two different people, so it's nice to get everyone's opinions. While you think about it, I'll say some things. I had a friend who proposed to her boyfriend, and he said no.
Ooh.
And they had been dating for 4 years, and
that's rough.
He had even talked to her about having kids, so she was really confused why he said no. So, and then she realized a couple weeks later he had been planning to propose to her, which he did, and then she said no. Which I don't know why she did that. If you the whole reason he said no is because he wanted to do it, right?
All right. The only thing I can get behind that, the only motivation I can divine behind that is that why she would not want to propose after is if she perceived that as being oh, he's a control freak, blah 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 blah. I would understand her not
Well,
wanting
the
to
whole
like.
reason when she explained to me crying on the phone, which I hope Samantha doesn't listen to this, but I love her. But she said the reason she wanted him to know how it felt whenever like he said no, and I was
That
telling her
is toxic as fuck,
they
and
both
I hope they broke
Yeah,
up.
love
I
each
hope they
other.
broke up.
that is kind of toxic. Kind
That
of.
is extremely petty and toxic, and a full offense to Samantha. I hope homeboy gets out of there and gets a new girlfriend. Cause
Well, okay,
fuck,
both of you are guys. A girl proposes to you, and you say you
Nah,
say
like
no
I don't know if
because
there's any way you can save the petty thing I just heard. I just
I'm gonna
but
say
okay, you have let's say both of y'all planned. Okay, he had planned a trip to Hawaii. He had planned all these things, and he said no because he wanted to take her and experience that, right?
yeah,
So that's his reasoning for saying no. And then and then she says no because she was like, "Well, the only thing she did is she took him to like the beach and then proposed to him there." And he was like, "I put so much thought into my proposal. That's why I said no." Right?
yeah, and then
Why
he did
why
some
it's not
toxic
fair.
shit.
Right. What I'm trying to say is shouldn't he have just said yes? And then they still could have gone to Hawaii, right? Or no?
I think he has a right to do things the way he wants to do them,
I say
and
if here's my solution here. Here's my solution here, right? I think I think it depends on the medium, but if it's like a private thing, if it's like a because like everyone's kind of turning around on the whole public proposal thing because there's like a lot of pressure and it's kind of manipulative a little
Well,
bit.
that's the thing too. She did it publicly in front of some of his friends and families. So she said that he embarrassed her by saying no.
you
And
see,
she
I also don't like that as well.
I
Public
would
proposals have
say
always been my least favorite thing.
I would say
It's a lot of
what
pressure
you
to put
do
on
is
somebody.
if a girl proposes to me, I say yes, and then later I
you
pull
would
her
say no.
I pull her aside and I'm like, okay, we've done this in
Yeah.
private. Now I have made all of these plans to propose to you.
Oh,
We're gonna
okay,
do
that's
we're
cute.
gonna
Uh-huh.
do we're gonna do my thing publicly, and we're gonna post about it so that way you still get like the cute story and shit, right? um because
That's cute. I didn't think about that. Yeah,
if
he
you've made all the plan, it's not
right.
even like from the cuteness or like romantic perspective, right? It's from my fucking business student perspective, which is like, if you've already paid for all this shit, fucking use it. Don't throw it away. Don't lock in your losses, dude. You can still get a good ROI on this shit, my man.
So you're saying that he should have just said yes and then taken her aside. See, that's where the communication comes in. If he had just done that, they would have been
but
happy.
but the problem is she doesn't get to like really do that story because she did it in front of the friends and family. I think most proposals should be as private
Private,
as possible.
that's private, yeah.
So what my dad did to my mom was, I think they were at Thanksgiving. This was obviously before I was born, but they it was like at like a family gathering, and my they were like getting set up for dinner, and my dad had like a whole plan, and my mom was not sticking to the plan, and he was being all anal retentive, right? And she was like, "Why are you being so uptight?" And then like a couple minutes later, got down on one knee and proposed. And then she's like, "Oh, I get it now."
Mm-hmm.
And
And that
I
was in
think
front of friends and family, right?
I think it was like a pretty small nuclear family type thing. I wouldn't I don't want to spring that sort of thing at like I
How
would
was it for your mom, like the second time around? Like, if I can ask.
uh this time around I was actually there for it. I wasn't actually paying attention, but from what I heard, I was in the same room, but from what
Good
I
son.
heard,
Yeah.
fuck you. I don't give a shit. I think it's stupid. I think fucking why should I care? I
As long as your mom's happy, right? Like,
yeah, sure.
okay.
So
Alright.
God, this doesn't even
my
sound like that's an enemy for him.
So my mom did the proposing this time. So this was in 2009, or no, very late 2008 or very early 2009, and they had been going on dates at um this one Starbucks that was sort of equidistant between um my house and my stepmom's house, and eventually, they had gone back there because it was a very convenient place for them to meet. And then my mom had gotten this ring, and of course she got me like food or whatever
To
to get
distract
me
you?
to to get me to fuck off and not ruin the moment. And given the fact that I don't remember it at all, it clearly worked. So yeah, so she did her proposal in the Starbucks. I don't remember it at all, and I think that's the best part. The worst part, and I was gonna go back to this because you said you wanted an outdoor wedding, is that my fucking parents got married on the hottest day of the year. Of the year. Their anniversary is August 22nd. They got married in a fucking hot ass, humid ass Connecticut in fucking August. It was miserable. I wore a full suit. There were a whole bunch of guys wearing full suits. The only person who wasn't wearing a full suit and who wasn't dying was my fucking mom, who planned out the whole damn thing. And
Aw.
I hold that against her every day.
Well, you
Every day.
shouldn't, because she's
No, I
happy.
should.
That's what
It was
matters.
miserable. It was
No,
miserable. No,
I'm kind
no,
of
no,
on
no,
his
no,
side a
no.
little bit here.
Yeah, no. I was there. I got shanghaied into being the best man. What could I do? I was like 7. How could I say no? I wasn't even 7 yet. I was 6. How could I say no? Yeah.
That's either way. I'm sure they had a great time, but I can only imagine
At my expense. That's the
how
thing. At my
scared
expense.
it is to propose. Because when my friend Samantha proposed, she was just like not crazy, but she was getting me kind of anxious about it, because she was like, what if he says no? And I was like, well, you love him, he loves you. I was like,
He would never say no.
just make sure that it's appropriate. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, does he want you to do it in front of his friends and family? She was like, well, he told me that he really loves his mom. And I was like, I know a bunch of guys that love their mom, but I don't think they want to be proposed to in front of them, right?
Yeah. I
But
don't
she
know.
was
Yeah,
just
true
so
that.
like scared to ask him. And I said, why don't you just wait until he does? And then she said, I don't think he's ever going to do it. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it's not the right time, right? Why rush something? Sometimes I
Yeah.
think maybe, I don't know about you guys, but maybe you kind of need to like take that step.
Yeah, you talk about it beforehand. The actual moment needs to be a surprise, but you talk about that shit beforehand. And I think that's where we should leave the wedding talk, because this was supposed to be a Christmas special.
Well, for all the
Yeah,
fans getting married during Christmas, congrats, right?
Yeah, congrats if you are getting married during Christmas. It was a very niche audience, of the 1,000
I
something.
definitely feel like I personally wouldn't mix my holidays like that. You know what I mean? Spread them out over the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
You
I
only
said
get
that we
you get
should
a
have a Christmas
birthday.
wedding. You wouldn't like that?
Yeah, you get a birthday, you get Christmas. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you should spread out your other holidays. You know,
I say the
around
best. I
No
say
Christmas wedding?
as a person who prefers not doing something to getting something, I would say don't give yourself 2 anniversaries, by which I mean plan your wedding anniversary to be your anniversary of when you started dating, so that way there your significant other doesn't, harangue you into getting them 2 different presents
I was
for
under
2
the
different
impression
anniversaries.
that whenever you get married, that becomes your only anniversary versus.
I don't
No,
know.
some people will try and guilt you into both, and yeah, no,
Tell us
no,
more
no, no.
about this story that you have for us.
Yeah, it sounds like it's personal.
How would it
Yeah.
be personal? I've never been married.
Okay, well, it sounds like you have a lot of experience, because I always thought, like, let's say me and Danny got married on December 25th, Christmas Day, right there. I won't be like, oh, we should do something for the anniversary when we first started dating, right? I always just thought it would replace the marriage. I mean the.
I don't know. Christmas. We need to talk about Christmas. This is we only have a few minutes left. We need to talk about Christmas.
Okay.
We're running out of
Do
time.
you have anything planned, or I was going to ask, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movie is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I just watched it a couple days ago. It's amazing. Still holds up. Fucking damn near perfect movie. Amazing.
Man, you know what? I watched something similar. Let me remember what it was called real quick.
Is it National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
No, it was very similar.
I think
The
a
name-
classic
the
Christmas
name, the name reminds me.
Did it
Something that I
have
watched recently.
Chevy Chase in it?
No. It reminded me of something I watched recently. Let me look it up. All right, I just said that. Give me a
I
second.
think a classic Christmas movie for me is Home Alone, right? Classic.
Oh yes, right here.
I'm not that big of a Home Alone fan, which is kind of sacrilege because it's like one of the Chicago movies.
It is, isn't it?
There's like Ferris Bueller, there's Blues Brothers, and then there's Home Alone. And those are like the big three. And I love Blues Brothers, and I love Ferris Bueller, but I don't know, I'm not a big Home Alone kind of guy.
All right, I found it, guys. I found it right here. It says
Mhm.
Rictional Mortpoons Rickmas Mortcation.
I fucking hate you. I despise you.
The nice Christmas finale, you know.
The hatred I feel in my heart towards you knows no bounds. There is I have no love in my heart for you.
Thank you.
That's very
I think.
strong.
That wasn't a compliment. I in fact hope
Let's
you
talk
suffer.
about what Christmas gifts are we giving this year?
Why
Nick?
would I say that when it's not when people hear this it's not going to be Christmas time. I'm not going to say what I'm getting for people if they can listen to this podcast and ruin the surprise for themselves. Why would I do that?
Why would he do that? Let's talk about this.
Okay, so you are getting Christmas gifts, one, and apparently they sound pretty good if you're not willing to like dish out what they are.
Maybe.
That's one.
Maybe they are. You know?
Okay, well, I know that certain people won't listen to this, so let's see. Christmas gifts. We are thinking of getting Danny's mom really likes Mickey Mouse, so we're getting her like a Mickey Mouse backpack.
Yeah, that's
right?
cute. That's cute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I am
what are you
getting
guys
my
getting me?
brother
What are
a Xbox mini fridge.
Maybe you get a tier 1 sub. Who knows?
You've been failing to give me your free Prime sub. You've been failing to.
Maybe I will not fail next time.
That's not a gift. That's you do that for free. That doesn't.
I don't know,
cost you
Nick.
anything.
We've sent you several cards, and you said you haven't received them. That one
I
time
think they get lost.
you did get your birthday card that one time, huh?
I think I did. I don't think I got one this year.
And then the second one, you said you didn't, which I
don't recall getting one. I know that Mom got one, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, we sent hers with yours. So
Did it look like a birthday card? Because if it looks like a birthday card, a lot of times they will get stolen.
No, it was just in a blue envelope.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what? From now on, I'll send it in like a tax document envelope, so no one can take it. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just depends, but yeah. Well, I'm not getting Danny anything because I hate him.
What about your presents? Isn't that a gift?
I'm not going to kill him. I think.
I said your presents.
I know, but the gift of life is a little bit more. You know.
There's something you mentioned earlier that I wanted to ask. You said you're moving.
Did I mention it earlier in this episode, or did I mention it later in the next episode?
Exactly in the next episode. But
no, don't say exactly like you're following along with it.
Yeah,
I totally understand everything that you were talking about.
It's a little bit too conceptual to follow, but I kind of love it. It's kind of amazing. Yeah, I don't know. I think
you said your parents were moving down to where?
I
Did you
say
say
we leave it for the
Wisconsin?
next episode. I say we leave it for the next episode, so that
Okay.
way they, again, more reason to listen. Yeah, this is so high concept, and I kind of love it. I kind of think that
I feel like I'm
the
ready for this after
circumstances
I've
are right.
watched, Rictional.
Shut up about Rick and fucking Morty. Shut up about Dick and Porny. Dick and Porny.
What's that? Are you okay, sir?
Big red button.
Yeah, big red button.
Okay. Since you are a reader, I will try to ask you this in the next episode, but then I realized that I wanted to ask you this in the past. So,
Whoa. Yeah, if you hear that correctly, he's
Whoa,
some sort of time traveler.
the mixing of
this is high concept.
I straight up feel like the Doctor right now, dude. I straight up feel like I'm in a TARDIS right now. This is amazing. Okay, so are you ready?
Sure.
If you press this button, you can read any book you want instantly just by flipping through it, and you'll retain all the information contained
Awesome.
perfectly. But whenever you watch a movie, you will fall asleep halfway through, without fail.
I will press the button.
That's it?
Yeah, are you kidding me? All the books I could ever read, textbooks. That's awesome, right?
I don't
And
know.
plus you said movies, so that means I can still watch a TV series. You know how much sleep I'll get? I can just put on a movie and I'll instantly fall asleep. That sounds awesome. Yeah.
But it's alright. But it's only for halfway through the amount of time you would have spent watching it. So
exactly. So that means I can watch the first part and fall asleep, and then the next time I can watch the second part and then fall asleep before I watch a new movie.
But if you, I imagine like it would be really hard to like get it to like work out right, and then especially if you were like watching it on cable, and like you were only gonna watch like the little part of it, you just like fall asleep, and then you don't know when you're gonna fall asleep because you don't know how much you were going to watch without falling asleep.
You said halfway, so I would, if it's an hour long, then I know around 30 minutes, right?
But like you don't know how long you're going to watch the movie for anyway, so you never know.
You said halfway.
Yes, I said halfway through the amount of time that you would spend watching the movie. So if you're only going to watch part of it, boom, you fall asleep halfway through before you were going to turn it off.
Yeah, this would be so useful for textbooks. What about you, Zini?
Well, you see, I it would make reading books a lot more appealing. You know what I mean? 'Cause the whole
Yeah,
time investment.
but you would have to do what is it, an infinite series, right? You'd have to do an infinite series because if you watch the movie halfway through, fall asleep. Okay, now you try and watch the second half. You get a quarter of the way through of the total runtime, you fall asleep. Then you try and watch it again, you get an eighth of the way through. And then on and on and on and on and on until you're watching only seconds, but still falling asleep.
Whoa!
It's kind of like a no. I know what he's talking about, right?
I don't know what you're saying.
This is like the I've heard about this before. It's like the cake with like infinite surface.
It's the tortoise who beat Achilles. It's Achilles and the tortoise.
Yeah, I've seen a couple different ones. I've seen one where it's like a cake that has infinite surface area but a defined volume, because if you keep chopping half of it, the surface area increases indefinitely while the volume never changes, right?
Yes, it's a
I've seen like the turtle one with Achilles. I've seen that one.
Well, one of the
Explain the turtle and the Achilles.
So so the tortoise gets a head start, and he's gonna race Achilles, right? So it's like the tortoise and the hare, but instead of the hare, it's Achilles, because the hare's like, "Fuck you! I tried to race you last time, and you beat me, you son of a bitch. I'm getting Achilles to run this for me." So Achilles is all like, bitch, I'm so confident, I'll give you a head start." And so he gives him a head start. This is kind of a little bit too conceptual to follow, so I'm pulling this up. So I'm gonna
Now this is a high
not
concept episode. You know what I mean?
That's right. We cover Christmas, marriage, commitment, time loops,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So he
Yeah,
gives
we can't forget those time
Achilles
loops.
the fucking he gives him a 5 foot head start, right? So by the time Achilles makes it to uh the when Achilles makes it to the point where the tortoise was, when he makes it to the 5 foot mark, the tortoise will have moved on. And so the tortoise still has a little bit of a head start. So by the time Achilles makes it to the point where the tortoise was, the tortoise will have moved on. So before people knew what calculus was, they would be like, okay, well, how does this work? But when we discovered calculus, we said, okay, but an infinite set of infinitely dividing fractions does equal 1 at some point. So, because obviously the Achilles runs way past the fucking tortoise and leaves it in the dust. So I forget why we even brought this up. Oh yeah, because of the movies thing. Yep, now I remember. So like you fall asleep for half the amount of time that you would be watching the movie. So if you try and catch up from where you fell asleep, you're only watching half the movie, so you fall asleep at a quarter. You know?
So the movie's 1 hour.
Yes.
I fall asleep 30 minutes in. So I only saw 30 minutes of it, right?
Yes. And then when you want to watch the last 30 minutes, you
Mhm.
put it on, you fall asleep 15 minutes in.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then 7.5.
So I
3
will
1/4.
finish the movie. I'll just be falling asleep faster.
Yeah, if you just have an infinite amount of time,
which
it
sounds
depends
pretty
on how.
cool.
It's not an
Depends.
infinite amount of time. It
It-
is
It
not
sounds
an
like I'll
infinite
finish
amount
the
of time.
movie and I'll
It,
be
it
able to fall
also
asleep
depends
immediately.
on if the sleep you get is correlated to the amount of movie you've watched, right?
Well,
Yeah.
that's different, I think.
Well,
So-
it's you just fall asleep for the amount of time. As soon as the credits roll, boom, you wake back up. Instantly.
Oh, that's
yeah, okay.
oh,
Well, that's
I don't know about that. I thought I would be asleep until I wake up the next day.
No.
Because I was like, that sounds awesome because then I can just whenever I want to fall asleep or have trouble falling asleep, I can just turn on the movie.
No, you just have you never fallen asleep in a movie theater before? You wake back up at the end.
No, I have not.
Okay.
Have you?
Does that happen to you often?
I don't remember. Not often.
Okay, it sounds like it does, Nick.
Usually I drink a large pop. Oh God, I said pop. Jesus Christ, I am from the fucking Midwest. A large soda halfway through, and
A large Coke?
I usually do Mr. Pibb.
No, I mean
If
like
I'm
Coke. Coke is a substitute for soda.
Shut the fuck up. You're not from Georgia. Fuck you.
A
But
Dr. Pepper Coke.
I usually finish a Mr. Pibb, a large Mr. Pibb, by the time like Maria Menounos shuts the fuck up. So I have to piss around the halfway mark, and then I can't focus on the movie, and I don't want to get
Wow.
up. I was surprised I didn't have to get up and pee during Avatar, but I certainly had to when I was leaving the theater, and I didn't have anyone to hold my popcorn, so I just drove straight home, and it was miserable, and it damn near died.
I'm confused by that whole sentence. You drove home with popcorn?
Yeah.
You didn't buckle it into the seat next to you?
No, I'm saying I drove home bringing it home with me.
Yeah, so you didn't just put a seatbelt over it in the seat next to you?
No, I'm saying I didn't have anyone. I couldn't go to the bathroom at the theater because I had no one to hold my popcorn.
You couldn't leave it on the seat?
No, I was leaving the theater. They were coming in to clean it. I was leaving. The movie was done.
Okay,
I
that
was
makes
bringing
sense.
it home. Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know
That
how
was
to
a
get
little
on
too
this
high
topic.
concept for her.
Okay. Basically, it would be damn near impossible to watch movies ever again because it would add. Fuck. How long There's a mathematical equation for how to do
No,
that,
this
and I
this
don't
is
know how to
literally
do
just
it.
calculus, but you were just saying this. This is literally just his calculus.
It's high level algebra. I don't know if it's calculus yet, but I know it's high level algebra. It's something to do with exponents, but I'm not gifted enough at math to do that.
Basically, never again be able to watch a movie,
Pretty much, yeah.
No,
or
it would just be like adding fractions, wouldn't it?
I mean,
Or
yes, if I think so. I
it'd
don't
be
know.
1 plus 1/2 plus 1/4 plus so on and
Oh,
so forth, right?
yes.
either way, I would
So,
push the button
uh,
because that
that
means I
would
could read.
But that would add up to 1. That's what I'm saying. An infinite series
no,
adds up
no,
to 1.
it wouldn't add up to 1 because you're starting with 1, right? Because you're watching the full movie, or you're watching half and then falling asleep for the second half, right? So that's
1
1.
half, 1/2
Okay.
plus 1/4 plus 1/8 plus
Yes,
1/16. That
right. So
that
that
only
number
adds up to 1.
technically, I think, eventually approaches infinity, doesn't it? Just
I'm
very,
asking with the
very
amount of
slowly.
sleep. I'm asking with the amount of sleep. How much? I'm trying to calculate how long does it take, including the amount of sleep. Because if we're saying how long does it take to watch the actual movie,
No,
it's the
that
length
is
of the
how much
runtime.
that is how much it takes, including the amount of sleep, right? Because it's one full movie's runtime the first time, right? And then it's half a movie's runtime, assuming you start from the point you fell asleep. And then it's a quarter, and then it's an eighth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you add all of those fractions together, going on into some
Infinity.
infinity, or I guess whatever point you think, you
Whenever
know,
it's just like a couple like nanoseconds left, and you're
right?
like
Like, and
you.
also, does that include the credits, right? Because if
No,
we include
when
the
the
credits, it
credit
makes it a lot easier, right? Because then you
when
don't gotta get it down to
as
seconds as much.
as soon as the credits start, you wake back up.
Ah, okay, okay. In that case, yeah, it'd be really difficult to watch like the last minute of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yes, it would be damn near impossible. And yeah, and there's like a couple of movies that are defined by their last minute. Like if you try to watch The Breakfast Club, fucking forget about it. Fucking forget about it. But yeah,
Well, I would press the button because there is an infinite amount of books in the world, and books usually are better than the movies, anyways.
Oh, is
no,
that what
there's
we're
not an
talking
infinite
about?
amount of books. There's not an infinite amount of books.
There's
There's
more
a
books than
set
there are
limit.
movies.
There, well, maybe, but yeah, there's a set limit on how many books there can be.
And you don't think I can go around reading all the books in
No,
seconds?
you would die before you hit the amount of books you would be able to
That's what
read.
I'm
Yes,
saying. So I think I would like the whole reading the book in seconds. It would be awesome.
maybe. I don't know. I think it
So
would
you
require
wouldn't
a.
press the button?
I like movies more than I like books. I'm sad to say. I used to be a book reader, but now I'm not. Um. Also, we gotta wrap this up, you guys.
All right, Danny. What about you? You press the button or no?
Sure. Why not?
So
You
you
would.
want to read books?
I do like movies a lot, though. But
He does say he wants to get back into reading, so this would give him a good excuse.
He did get the whole
I feel like
Assassin's Creed books.
the whole thing about the books that I don't like is just the time investment, right? And that would kind of remove the one bad thing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think that's a good place to end it. I just want to say again, reiterate, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate at this time of year. Um, Thank you for celebrating it by listening to us. Um, uh, get along with your family, and if you don't, go in the a room away from them and listen to more episodes of this. Isn't that nice? But yeah, we hope you have a happy holidays. Stay safe. Be careful. Don't eat too much. And
Eat as much as you want. That's what I
Doesn't
say.
no one tell you
no,
anything?
because you will suffer. You will suffer the consequences of that.
But at least
Um,
you know that you made the choice.
Let it be
Yeah,
your
you know what?
choice. Don't let
You
it
know
be his
what?
choice.
Freedom. You have the freedom to choose to make the wrong choice.
There you go.
There you
All
go.
right. Yeah. Happy holidays. from us to you, and also words.
I love words.
Shut the fuck up. Uh, what was that? Was there anything else I was gonna say? No, I don't think so. Um, I wanna thank patron Justin Connor. Thank you for helping us bring this show out to you. All the proceeds from the Patreon go towards letting us do things with this show. We can bring you more stuff. Every time we go see a movie or get a product to review on the podcast, we use the funds from that, and so that helps. If you want to help us out and get shouted out, or even listen to episodes early without ads, make sure to follow us at patreon.com/IIHS podcast. All one word. If you want to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, it's the best place to get our updates about when new episodes come out. Ask us Q&A. We are at IIHS podcast, all one word. Other than that, I've been incredibly influential.
And I've been highly successful.
Thank you guys for listening, and yeah, happy holidays.